All right, we've just won our first battle, so we moved our progress cube to the next spot on the sector, which happens to be a planet, which means we move into the resupply phase. A resupply phase will tell you how many of these icons you can select. It says pick two, and I have a choice of a part, a crew member, or taking two cargo. I can't repeat any of these choices. I have to, take a part and a crew or a part and cargo. But any two of these is fair game. And I've already made my selection. You can see here that I've got a crew member added, and I've added a part, a heavy cannon, to my ship. And I needed to choose when adding that part if I wanted to add it to the right side of my ship. Here's a copy of that card. You can see that on the right side is the heavy cannon, and on the left is the deflector shields. But on the reverse side, they're on opposite. So I could have put my gun on the left side of my ship, extending my track. But something to note about that is when you start your next battle, the command cube is going to have to start on the leftmost space. So I would have to start it here. And I didn't feel like I wanted to have my guns blazing right out of the gate. I usually like to move and attack, or move and go get some resources. So hence I've placed my heavy cannon over here, and we'll see how that pans out for me. And as I mentioned, I also picked up a crew card. This Grease Riley crew member is an engineer, and he helps with repairing my ship for one. When using a crew card, no matter what the crew card is, you will turn the card sideways to show that it's been exhausted, and you won't get that option back until your command cube circles all the way around your command track to this icon, which is a little bit hard to see right here. There's a line with a couple of arrows, and that means that you can ready any exhausted cards that you have available, and then you'll be able to use those crew effects again. All right, so having made my two selections, I chose not to take any cargo. I'm going to move my progress cube ahead one space, and I see an icon that means I'm up against the level 2 threat, which happens to be called a commander. In this case, we're going to be going up against this Sectorian frigate, which is a bit tougher than the scout that we just defeated, and has a hull of 4. Its maneuvers a little bit slower, but it certainly has bigger guns and a few more threats with its warp attack. The way that this Sectorian frigate works is that anytime the warp attack icon comes up, I have to roll 2 dice and move this ship, just sort of like it jumps, to the hex matching that 2 die result. And there is actually 0 through 12 marked on the map, so obviously it won't land on 0, but any of the other spaces, other hexes, are totally viable. And what happens if it lands on my ship? Well, any player's ship in that hex takes 2 damage and must move to an adjacent hex. So that can be nasty surprise, and that would trigger on this icon that shows up twice here. Okay, so we're going to get set up for the next battle, and we'll see you in a minute.